Good morning, folks. It's been a while since my last video. My parents were in town. They came in here about Saturday. They left yesterday, Thursday evening. I was very busy with them. We built a porch for my new home. Took some stuff down that needed to be taken down. So I've been very busy and haven't been able to come on here. I am on here with no notes. I'm on here on the fly. A little bit of encouragement because I know last week they said was the 9th of Av, and a lot of the circles were saying that look up because we were going home, but that was last week, and we are still here. So a bunch of us are discouraged. I'm not, because I kept saying that I didn't know about this whole 9th of Av thing. I didn't quite understand it because the 9th of Av, as I understood, is a Jewish thing, and we're not under the Jewish law. Christ made a new covenant, and we are not under the law. So you asked them, they do not agree at all with the winter rapture. I think it could happen. I think it could have happened last week. I could think it could happen the rest of this week. I could think it could happen next week. I think it could happen in October, November, or even December. The rapture is imminent. Nothing needs to happen before the rapture. So keep encouraged. It didn't happen last week. It could happen at any moment. Do I think it could still happen this year? I really hope so. If we're here in 2024, then we still keep looking up. We still keep warning our friends. We still keep warning our loved ones. We still keep warning our family. We still keep warning our neighbors. Anyone that'll listen. Short of them calling us away to the closest nut hospital in a straitjacket because they think we're crazy. A lot of my family think so. A lot of my friends think so. Or the ones that still call me friends. We still keep warning. Because there is too much going on for the rapture not to be close. This whole Trump thing is a diversion. It is a diversion, but I think it's Satan's tact of him not wanting that man back in office. We all know that the World Economic Forum is doing Satan's bidding on setting up the beast kingdom. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're accomplishing. And Trump, the moment he's in office, he would get him out of NATO. He would get him out of who? He would get out us of NATO. He would get out us of who? He would get out us of the World Economic Forum. He would start drilling again. He would do all of these things to reverse what the World Economic Forum, who was pulling Biden's strings, by the way. The World Economic Forum is Biden's puppet master. And they can't allow Trump to do that. So what better diversionary tactic than to keep at him? Keep at him. I'm sorry, the man will probably go to jail. And I watched the program, and I totally agree with, the only thing that would keep him out of jail is he wins the election. Number one, I don't think there'll be a 2024 election. And number two, they have a blueprint on how to defraud an election. And number three, they won't allow him to win the election. So all of that is a diversionary tactic to keep us turn our eyes from really what's going on. Every day, the beast system is getting more and more set up. This whole iris scan thing, over 2,100,000 people have already scanned their irises for a world ID. Folks, this is the precursor for the mark of the beast. You get your iris scanned, you get your world ID, you get your chip connected to that world ID, you get your CBDC connected to this world ID. Hey, look at the drugs, look at the opioid problem, look at the sex trafficking, look at the children's sex trafficking, the U.S. being the number one instigator of it. We need a central bank digital currency to combat that. Sign me up. Not me, but this is the whole mindset of the global population. Folks, we got earthquakes. I had to bump up my earthquake app to 6.0 and above because it just kept going off every 10 minutes. So the earthquakes, the weather, I think will be in 100-degree heat until October. Seems like it. I know those of you who remember 1980, oh, it was much hotter back then. No, it wasn't. I heard a report that 1980 now has nothing on 2023, that this year is now the hottest on record. And I think it's going to just get hotter. Look at the fourth bowl judgment. If you think this year is hot, can you imagine when the fourth bowl is poured out? You step outside and it just cooks you. Think about it. All I'm saying is there's too much going on not to think that it can't be this year or next year. Now, if we're still here, come January the 1st, you're welcome to post. Richard, you were wrong. It wasn't in 2023. Okay. Next year, 2024, tops. 2025, tops. But if you think we're going to be here for another 5 years, think again. We are destroying our children. We are mutilating them with this puberty blockers that are meant to give to these sex criminals to pretty much, don't want to be graphic, it's a chemical castration. We are ruining, destroying our children. We are still aborting them. A lot of states made it illegal, but you go to California, they're still doing it. You go to Washington State, they're still doing it. You go to New York State, they're still doing it. The overturn of Roe v. Wade, it didn't make it illegal. Not at the federal level. States still had to choose. Texas decided to make, my state decided we draw the line, ain't going to happen. But there are states out there that are still murdering our children. So we got that. God can't allow this whole chemical castration of our children to go on much longer. Keep looking up. It is still soon. So we got central bank digital currency, as I just mentioned. If you think the U.S. economy is going to last much longer, think again. The U.S. economy, it's early, so I'm just now waking up. The U.S. economy is on the verge of collapse. That yellow freight, 30,000 jobs lost, and that's just the beginning. My brother worked for a freight company. They unload freight. His hours have been cut short. I told him about 2 years ago that the U.S. economy, this is 2 years ago, was on the verge of a collapse. And the evidence is very strong that that's fixing to happen. We got BRICS. I think at the end of August, they're going to allow 5 more or more. They're going to allow 5 more countries into BRICS. And when that happens, they're going to create their own economy, and that's what they are going to trade with. We got Saudi Arabia. Here's the red flags, ladies and gentlemen. This is biblical. They are normalizing relations with Israel. Wake up. What happens during the Ezekiel 38 war, which is coming together every day, more and more every day? Saudi Arabia, they don't do nothing about it, but they hold this huge protest. Because why? They have normalized relationships with Israel. They are cutting ties with us. Israel has cut ties with the U.S. That's another red flag. That's another red flag that why we're not mentioned in Bible prophecy. Because Biden, who hates Israel, has cut ties with Israel. Not even allowing Bibi Netanyahu into the White House for talks. He invited that other president, I don't know his name, where he mumbled and slept through most of the meeting. Kept mumbling like I said, it's early, incoherently. So, central bank digital currency, the U.S. economy on the verge of collapse, BRICS adding more nations. They're making their own economy, which will squeeze out the U.S. economy. We got that IRA scan. We got all of these earthquakes. We got those red heifers still kosher. I think they arrived, 2 years ago? And they're still kosher. They're still perfect. They'll be ready to go in a few months. You only need one. We got the third temple ready to go. Do you see, folks? Look, keep looking up. Things aren't going to take a step back. They're trudging forward. They're speeding forward. They're like a Japanese bullet train. They are plowing at 200 to 300 miles an hour forward. It's happening. Keep heart, folks. The rapture may not have happened last week, but I think it's soon. Just pick up a newspaper. And all of these, I mean, depends on your news source. The mainstream media, who's all about Trump. My dad was in town, so he kept on the news, and I got so sick and tired of hearing about Trump. It's all over the news. I mean, you can almost see the giddiness on their face. Look at this. Four more indictments. You know, it's all a diversion. I get excited. I'm not discouraged. I'm excited. More and more every day. More and more every day. I say things happening that we are fixing to go home. This is going to be a short video. I just don't have much more to talk about. Like I said, parents were in town, had a great visit, worked most of the week. I was off this week, but I worked most of my week. So I was exhausted. I went to bed early last night because I was exhausted. But we are fixing to have our eternal retirement. We're fixing to get our bodies that don't get tired. We are fixing to get our bodies that get to eat anything we want without worrying about without getting fat, worrying about whether you can't swallow it or not. Stay strong, folks. Again, I repeat, there is too much going on that it not to happen soon. It's 10 years away. You really think so? You really think it's 10 years away? You think this world can sustain another 10 years? No. You think that this world can keep up with another 5 years? No. Look at Israel and look at how they are indoctrinating our kids. I think God cannot allow this destruction of our kids much longer. That whole Barbie movie, that is a blatant kid indoctrination. And everybody wants to see it. Not me. Thank goodness my son had no desire to go see that. I jokingly asked him, "Hey, Noah, you want to go see that Barbie movie?" And he gave me that. "No, I don't want to go see that." Tried to mock him. He's only 12, but he's got that voice. Thank goodness he's normal. Yeah, I said it. The Bible clearly speaks on that lifestyle. I love them. I hope they get saved. They all need to get saved. I just don't like their lifestyle. Stay strong, folks. Get saved today. Get saved today. Trust in His blood today. Come to Christ today. My hours have changed. I no longer have Thursdays off anymore. We'll get back. May do another deep dive study. Like, share, subscribe. because we are running out of time. God bless. Have a great weekend. I love you. And also remember, you put a prayer request in my comments. I pray for you guys. I pray for you guys. When you put a prayer request in my comment, I do pray for you guys. We all need each other. We all need to lift each other up. We all need to encourage each other. Because things are going to get worse for us. This thing with Trump, it may trickle down to us. Have you heard of this GARM? This global, you need to look it up. This global, basically, this global online, basically our freedom of speech is going to go away, folks. They are, GARM, look it up, G, a period, A period, R a period, M period, GARM. It's a global initiative to sequester, to crush freedom of speech. That just came to mind, so I'm going off on another rabbit trail before I was going to sign off. It's going to get worse, folks. GARM. We're going home soon. God bless. Love you. Out.